Firstly, let's talk about the closing opposition. Closing opposition basically told you two things. Firstly, that middle class hate tax. My question is, do they and who are they? So because for the fact, many people actually vote for Democrats in the 2020 election and even from Obama with the proposition of having more tax in order to get more social welfare and a universal healthcare system. So, and even though we're talking about other countries in Europe such as UK, Germany, and so on and so forth, the middle class are quite fine as long as it's worth it. So it's a third uncertain. Second thing that they said is that there's no other candidate that is good. Sanders are old. It's better to have Tim Walz. But the thing is, Republicans also start from zero because Trump cannot elect himself anyway, and Vance is not very famous anyway. So at the end of the day, they both start from zero. Therefore, the most important thing is to get as much resources as possible. And therefore, Kevin's case win. So CEO that haha. So the second thing, let's talk about the second part. Talking about the opening government, a team who hates solving deadlocks. So the opening have a massive gridlock, right? Because at the end of the day, we have a question. Will people in swing states believe in the movement? Because opening government told you that far left is good to counterbalance or combat the far right because Trump will fail and this is good counterbalance. Opening opposition told you that far left is too extreme and not understandable, so therefore it ought to get in. But although these arguments are very good and I think they deserve 80, I think this case is highly uncertain because the ideological relevancy and voter preferences changes over time in an unpredictable way. For hell's sake, Trump's presidency was laughed upon 15 years ago, but now he became president. Even worse when we're talking about swing states, right? In 2016, the swing states vote for Trump. In 2020, they vote for Biden. Now they vote for Trump again. So therefore, what I'm trying to say here is, we cannot predict the ideological of the swing states. And of course, swing states is the most important thing. Because if you are blue, you are still going to blue anyway, red anyway. So therefore, what is the most important thing? Given that ideology is the most uncertain thing in the debate, the most important thing is money, right? But why is money the most important thing in the debate, right? Well, thank you, Justin, later. Because in 2028 race, right, it is not a war between ideology or personality. It is a war between resources. In 2024, it's a battle between personality. Kamala has a presidency from 2020 to 2024. Trump has 2016 to 2020. So then they compare the personality and the policy in between. The difference in 2028 is everyone starts from zero, right? Kamala probably is irrelevant anymore, right? But Trump also cannot get it. So the most important thing is to start to push as many advertisements as possible down to people's throat. So and note that people actually in the swing states, no thank you, are preferring cult of personality over over policy. Do you know that Trump agrees with abortion, right? You guys don't know because there's a personality that Trump hates abortion. But for a fact, Trump's push a policy that abortion is determined by the state and not a federal policy, and therefore gives the responsibility of abortion towards each state. Therefore, if you are living in New York itself, you can still do abortion. So what I'm trying to say here is people often overlook the policy for the cult of personality. The only way for you to have a good cult of personality is for you to have as many advertisements as possible, and therefore you need a lot of money for this. You need to hire companies such as Cambridge Analytica. You need to hire, pay a lot of digital advertising on Meta, Google, and so on and so forth. And the precondition to that is to have as many sponsors as possible. Then the last question, no thank you. Why private companies love leftist program? Note that the leftist in the United States is not the leftist in the North Korea and China. Please listen to Sanders, AOC, and other leftist program. They told you that, I want to be anti-corporation, but they never actually want to abolish corporations. Also, on top of that, they are still often taking investment and donors coming from corporations itself, especially when we're talking about Elizabeth Warren, and probably other candidates as well. So we told you that they are no thank you later. They are doing it as a lip service, for example, but they never actually want to abolish the corporation. What is the most likely leftist program in government side of the house then? We are gonna copy Germany, UK, and so on and so forth, in which that we will collaborate with private entity as a government contractor. How does this look like? This looks like if you have universal healthcare system, the hospital are still private, right? Therefore, more money for them. If you want to buy medicine from AstraZeneca, so therefore more money for them as well. So a lot of government redistribution program leads to more government contracts in itself. If you want to go centrist, therefore less redistribution program, therefore less government contract, therefore less money for corporations. But before going further, Justin.
Meta and Google, as per Kevin, will still be blue in both sides. We will still have donor and money. The difference is, after you get the money, what kind of messaging you want to spread to people. You say ideology is unimportant. In your side, your messaging is never going to be accepted by the people who would otherwise reject the far-left ideology anyway in your side.
In our side, BlackRock more money. Previously only BlackRock, now JP Morgan and so on and so forth also come in. More advertisement, more cult of personality getting down the throat of the swing states people. Okay, so given that the corporation actually loves leftist program, the fact that they can get a lot of government contract, the fact that they can get a lot of cheap labor from immigration, the fact that they can get more productive labor the moment you have universal healthcare system, the moment that you have more buying power because people are redistributed money, means that on the so like these people are not against, they are only against corporation in a grassroots. But PwC consultant will still tell you that redistribution is good for the country itself and will benefit the corporation itself. So at the end of the day, what I'm trying to say here is, they will ask the consultants, and factually it is better. So the only way for you to win is to have, far left candidate that cater to the government contractors itself. This is the preconditions to win the cult of personality. Lastly, opening opposition, I think overall has been done. So the most important thing, so what they said is that the interest of the swing states. I think swing states care about cult of personality. Swing states is unclear, right? Like they're against Biden just because he looks weak. So the most important thing is to show as many videos as opponent is bad. The only way to do that is getting money from the government contractor. For that reason, to win.